Hi, Amy. My name's Nicole. I'm going to be your occupational therapist today. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, and you?
Good. Thank you for asking. I was just wondering what brought you in today. If you could tell me about that and tell me what you do for a living.
I am a teacher,
Okay.
and I have a lot of tingling in my wrist.
Okay. What about in your hands?
Yes, also in my hands.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, but good news. Hopefully, the things we go over today will be beneficial. I've run through a couple things that generally other teachers I've worked with have reported that they do. So just tell me if these are things that you do, and if so, if they cause you pain. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Okay. So do you commonly have to write on the board and grip a marker?
Yes.
Okay. And does that cause you pain?
Sometimes on and off.
All right. What about grading papers or entering grades on a computer?
Yeah, entering grades because my wrists, I'm like this typing. So.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. And then lastly, going along with the entering grades, creating lessons and other sorts of computer things. Does that cause you pain?
Yes, when I'm on the computer typing, it definitely does.
Okay. So I just wanted to go over a couple different tests just so I can kind of narrow down some of the symptoms you've been feeling to decide what we're going to do moving forward. So just follow along with me. You're going to stick your arms out to the side and then bring them in. And then put the backs of your palms together like this. Oh, and just bring your elbows down a tiny bit. Perfect. And if you could just hold that for a couple seconds. And how does that feel?
It hurts. I have some pain.
Okay. A little bit of like tingling too?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you. That's good. I don't want to cause you any more pain. And then the next thing that we're going to do is a sensory test. So I don't want you to think that I'm going to be pricking you or anything like that. But this is just called sharp and dull, so I'm going to just show you on myself first. I'm going to either poke you with the sharp side, just very gently, or the dull side. And sometimes I might brush it against you too. And just tell me quite simply if you feel sharp or dull. So we'll do it one time with you looking, and then we'll have you look away.
Okay.
All right, does that sound good?
Yep.
Okay, so if I could just see your hands.
Should I look or?
Yes, look for the first time.
Sharp. Dull.
Okay, good. So now if you could just look to your side.
Okay.
All right.
Dull.
Mm-hmm.
Dull. Sharp. 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 Dull.
Here, generally, these sort of conditions can be treated with very simple things. So the first thing I wanted to show you is this orthoses. Have you ever seen or used one of these before?
I've seen them, yes.
Okay. So generally, you can get them pre-made at CVS or places like that. But this one, if you remember last time we met, we fitted you for this, and now we have this custom made. So this is for your right hand. So I just wanted to show you how to put it on. So we're going to put this around your thumb and strap it like that, and then the other one's around your wrist. So the point of this is to keep your wrist in extension like that. So generally we tell clients to wear these when they're sleeping, just because sometimes it can cause slight discomfort, but it shouldn't ever be painful. So just let us know if you're experiencing anything like that.
Okay.
You can wear this during the day as well, but I think for now we'll start you with nighttime just to see how that works for you. Then the next thing that I wanted to go over is something called a median nerve glide. So the reason we're doing this is because a lot of the time people who experience symptoms like you it's because of the median nerve, which runs through wrist. So this is just going to help relieve some of that tension. So you can do this for up to 3 times a day. You can do it roughly 3 to 5 times, 3 to 5 repetitions over 3 times a day. Okay. So you can do it with either just the one hand or both hands, depending on where your pain is. So you can follow along with me. Start with your hand in a fist. Then open up your fist. Then you're going to tilt it back. And then face your hand towards you and tilt it forward. Towards you like that. And then you're going to pull your thumb down with your other hand. So you don't want to pull it too hard where you're causing pain. And again, as with the orthosis, it might be slightly uncomfortable, but it is going to provide you relief. So you can just do that as needed and let me know next time we meet how that's been working for you. Does that sound good?
Sounds great.
Okay. Awesome. So now I just wanted to go over the ergonomic checklist that we talked about last time to tell you what I found with that. But before we do that, I just wanted to clarify. So you said that these symptoms have been affecting your work. Have you been experiencing that tingling in any other areas, such as maybe when you're brushing your teeth or having to write things at home, like for your bills or anything?
Writing, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And any pain or tingling at all when you're sleeping?
Sometimes it wakes me up.
Okay.
I feel it.
Okay. That's definitely important to know.
Yeah.
So hopefully that orthosis will help you with that. And just some other things that I noticed, just from what you described, is it is common for people to have problems with endurance in the sense of being able to complete a task, flowing throughout the task, going along with the endurance without having to take a break, and gripping can be hard when you're experiencing those symptoms. So, all right, now for the ergonomic checklist. So I noticed from looking at your workstation that the items you commonly use are within or near your reach, so that's good. You're not having to go in awkward positions to grab things. Generally, would you say that your feet are flat on the floor with your hips square towards the back of the chair?
My feet, no, I usually rest them on the legs of the chair where the wheels are. I usually don't keep them flat.
Okay, that's pretty common. A lot of people report that. So you don't need to go out and get a new chair or anything like that, but there's very many simple modifications that you can do. So if possible, you could get a footrest, or people like to just stack up books. So you said you're a teacher. I'm sure you have a lot of books in your room. So that's something to just promote better posture and comfort when you're working, especially if you're sitting for long periods of time. So we were talking about your typing before. So when you're typing, do you generally keep your elbows at a 90-degree angle roughly, or do you have to reach up or down or anything?
I think they're usually flat on the desk.
Okay, so that will help alleviate some of those pains and tinglings you've been feeling. So just some other recommendations is keeping to avoid just to cause any we don't want to cause any future problems. So having your computer screen at eye level is something that we commonly recommend. Making sure that if you're typing off any written documents, that if you can have them in a document reader, so you're not glancing down. Okay, that's good for your computer station. And we don't need to go over the section of excessive force or vibration because that's not really applicable to your job.
No.
So for awkward posturing, would you say that you are working, like when you're writing on the board, for example, or hanging anything up, are you working with your hands above the head or elbows or shoulders for more than 2 hours per day?
Not for more than 2 hours.
Okay,
no. Yeah.
That's good. Yeah, because obviously, of course, we all have times when we need to be reaching up or anything like that. It's just can become problematic when it's for longer than 2 hours. So, okay, good to hear. Are you working with your head or neck bent more than 30 degrees for more than 2 hours daily?
Probably less than 2 hours.
Okay. Well, if that does become an issue in the future, since you seemed a little unsure, of course, 2 hours is hard to measure sometimes. Some things that can help with that, is, like I said, with the computer screen, keeping that at eye level. And if, your computer is kind of at a set height, as I was saying before with the footrest, you can use books or other things to stack it. That will help from that neck flexion because that causes discomfort. For the repetition, for repetitive movements with your wrists and hands, for grading, some things that are good if, again, not always possible, but if possible, to take breaks when you're typing or writing. That way you'll prevent strain and soreness. And I'm sure you get sore quicker now that you've been experiencing these symptoms, right?
Yes.
Okay. Work environment, is it generally...
Very noisy. Usually more on the hot side than on the cold side.
To create a more comfortable environment. So if possible to have a fan or, a noise or a fan for the purpose of blowing air or to cancel out noise, and keeping the door closed, and all of those things are definitely important. So, okay. Well, thank you for meeting with me today.
Thank you so much, Ms. Rothenbucker.